everybody, and welcome back to the Empire Let's Play series. We are down here at our swamp village, and between episodes, I've been pretty busy. You might remember last episode we made a melon farm. I finally got enough seeds to fill it up, and it has started producing melons. Now this has brought up a new problem. When the melon farm runs, it creates melon slices, which then have to be assembled into melons that I can then trade with the farmers. And this is the exact same problem that we were having over at the iron farm. At the iron farm, we get a bunch of iron ingots, and then I have to take those to a crafting table and assemble them into blocks. And this is why they added the crafter block. But I can't really do anything with the crafter block unless I have comparators, and we can't do comparators until we go to the nether. So we're going to have to go to the nether sooner than later, just so that we can get the crafter blocks implemented and start bundling up all that stuff. While I was waiting for all the pumpkins and the melons to grow, I made a map of the Mingus village, and I shrank it down by 1 level. The reason I did this is if I didn't, it overlapped over 2 blocks, and there's an odd number of blocks on the wall, and so it just looked kind of wonky. But when I shrank it down 1 level, it was nice and centered on the wall. So I think we'll do the same thing up here in the swamp village eventually. We'll come up with a local map, hang it on the wall, and it'll look really cool. Once I got lots of pumpkins and melons, I did a bunch of trading, and then I ran back down here to the swamp village. Down here, I did a few things. Just started doing a little bit of decorating. You might notice some worn bits on the floor. I kicked these walls out just a little bit, so we had places for our utility tables. And out here, you're going to notice some differences as well. Specifically, we're starting to get some villagers, and we're starting to get some iron golems. I did the same thing out here where I did a little bit of wear here and there just to make it look good. I put some buttons up to give it a little bit of texture. Those spots where I popped my walls out create these little alleyways, which I think are kind of interesting. The light level is 7, so we're not going to get any mobs or anything. And then I did just a little bit of decorating here. I did a lantern and then some stairs just to give it a little bit more character, and I think that looks really good as well. First thing we're going to do today is get all of the workstations placed and get these villagers some jobs. We'll probably do a little bit of trading, and I also want to name this village so we can get it placed on the map. Another thing I want to do is address that big sandy beach area that's nearby and see if we can do something about that. While I was doing all that trading, I got a bunch of emeralds, I got a bunch of paper, I also brought some essentials, things like an anvil, some iron, a bell, things like that, and that'll help give us a head start on a mending book. But right down here, I think this is going to be where the cartographer lives. And I want to put the bell right up here. I'm going to hold off on the other fishermen and the cleric until we make sure we've got all the librarians going. I'm going to do some trading for a bit and see how things kind of shake out. Well, a lot has happened, and I've made a few changes around here. So I started doing some trading with the different villagers, and I figured something out. Normally with a librarian, what you do is you put down the lectern, and then you click on the librarian and see what book they're going to trade you. But with the Villager Trade Rebalance experiment, these villagers will only trade 3 different types of books. They'll do Depth Strider, they'll do Respiration, and they'll do Curse of Vanishing. Once they get up to master level, then they will give us a mending book. And so I was noticing I was getting the same trades over and over. It's like Depth Strider, Depth Strider, Depth Strider. And so what I did is I got one villager who's going to give us Depth Strider 3. And then a lot of people running around here. I started putting signs up so we can kind of see what's going on. So we've got a cleric. Because we don't need so many librarians, I'm going to add another cartographer. And then we put the bell up here, and a weird thing was happening where they were kind of halfway in and halfway out of this house. And so I just tore the wall out so they have a nice gathering area. I put a workstation here so we have a fisherman, and then the bed that was there, I just put down here so we have 2 beds in this house down here. We've got our leather goods, we've got a Respiration 3 book. There is one librarian that I was trading with. Let's see, which one is it? This guy? Yeah, so Depth Strider 2, we've already got Depth Strider 3, no big deal. Curse of Vanishing, who cares? So we've gotten up this far, and if I trade clocks and compasses with them, I think we can get them up to Master, and then we can get a Mending Book. We're also starting to get some iron golems wandering around the place, which is fine, I suppose. You may have also noticed that I did a little bit of decorating. Since I was just waiting for villagers to grow up and stuff like that, I went around and just did real simple decoration. So some tables, a little bit of art, some pottery, things like that. All right, let's see what happens here. If we say we want a clock, that'll go that far. And if we want compasses, goes similar. We can use the compasses, so I'm going to take some of those. We should go up to diamond. Mending. Look at that. 33, that's not cheap. We also get name tags, that's nice. But we have it now. So I'm going to get some emeralds together and a book so I can trade with this guy. And then we can get a mending book to put on our Silk Touch pick. And then we can get all the stone we want for the road. There's one more thing I want to do before we run back up to the savannah, and that is I want to dig up a lot more of that sand over in that beachy area over here. Not only can we use the sand, but I just want it to look more natural. And I think what I want to do is kind of create like a lagoon. So we'll leave a little bit of beach around the edges, but I want to dig most of it down and then fill it with water. So it looks like a lagoon. So far, this is all I've dug out. So there is a lot of sand here. Might take more than a trip. I don't know that this is all going to fit in my inventory, but we'll see how far we can get. Doesn't seem like a lot, but that is a double chest of sand that I just dug up. Still a ton to remove. We're going to leave a little bit of a hill or a berm here to kind of separate the water from this little forested bit over here. And then we'll bring this all down. And as you can see on this side, there is some water over here. And we're going to connect that water and that water, so we just have a big lagoon in the middle. And there'll be a bit of sand around the edge, so it looks a little bit beachy. Our turtles are swimming around. Since they're in a swamp, I suppose they're snapping turtles now. So, yeah, my poor little shovel has had it, so that's as much as I can do here. I think what I'm going to do next is a little bit of organization, and then before we head up to the savannah, I want to name this village. Got a banner over here. Oh, I've also got a bit of leather. You know, I should probably grab one more mending book for that shovel. Okay, we're going to pop that in there, and this village is going to be called Marsalis. All right, I've got my books and everything. I'm going to make a full-size map of our area here, and we'll just leave it in our little space here. I've got my books and all my goodies. We're going to head back north up to the Southland in the savannah, and we're going to put mending on some of our tools. Let's go ahead and add our maps. So that one's going to go there. That one goes there. Yep. There we have it. We're down here in the Southland. We got Mingus up there with all of our farms. And then way down here, we've got Marsalis. My Silk Touch pick is up in Mingus, so we're going to head over there next. Okay, big moment here. Always exciting when you finally get mending on your tools. Right, there it is. One Silk Touch Efficiency 4 Unbreaking 3 pick. And now with mending. Awesome. Need to run this down and do a little healing on it. But then, once we've got that all going, we can get as much stone as we want. And finally get some work done on the road. That is a healed up pick. Now that we have a healed up Silk Touch pick, we can get all the stone, and then we can get to work on the roads and get some real progress made on this place. Some other things I've been thinking about is other tools. You know, we have another mending book that we could put on our shovel, and you know, it'd be nice to have a nicer sword or some nicer armor, and we do have some diamonds. But I think I might wait and do some trading and see what I can get from villagers. I had said at the beginning of the episode that pretty soon we're going to need to go to the Nether, because right now we have all of these melon slices that I have to kind of bundle up manually, and it'd be really great to get some quartz so we could make some comparators and come up with a contraption to do that for us. Similarly, with our iron farm, I would love to get a crafter block in there and start bundling up all of that iron. And in addition to that, I have some other ideas for builds that we could do in between some of the villages, and I think it's going to be pretty cool. I'm very excited. And I think that's where I'm going to wrap this one up. If you want to be like these folks and help support the channel, click join down below. Membership starts at 99 cents and it really helps me out. And thanks for watching. I hope you had fun. Please like and subscribe if you want to follow along on the adventure, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.